Hey everyone, Brian Von VA here, back at it again with another set of D&D stories as per usual. But you already know me. What you don't know is the set of stories we got. We're going to be talking about your favorite way to troll players yet again, and I want to see down in the comments below your favorite way to troll your players in D&D, or whatever tabletop game of your choice. That said, DMs of Reddit. What is your favorite way to troll your players, part 2? The DM in one of the campaigns I'm in is a real-life friend of mine who, quite frankly, scares the hell out of his players. Not because he's particularly hostile towards us, because he's not, nor is he overly brutal in combat against us. In fact, most of the time his combatants are actually rather tame. No, he's scary because he has a PhD in emotional damage. Now, in character, emotional damage doesn't really get me. Most of the time I expect in-character drama. This time, however, he got me by intentionally breaking the rules of the spell Divination. Short description: Divination lets you ask your god 3 questions which can be answered with yes or no answers. In my case, my character was asking Helm the answers to 3 questions she had regarding a dream she'd just woken up from. So, imagine my surprise when I message my DM my 3 questions, and he replies back with highly detailed, full-sentence answers for each one. I messaged him and just sent a gentle reminder, "You know the answers only have to be yes-no answers, right?" He responded with, "Oh, I know. He figures she can use all the help she can get right now." Oh, fuck. Oh, I turned their puns against them. They've had a hawk named Tony and an owl named Albie, as in, "I'll be back." Their newest owl familiar is Albert, and he's often used for his eyesight to scout ahead. The last time they wanted to, I asked, "Is it Albert Eyes time?" When players start metagaming, I just ask, "Are you saying this out loud?" They've broken stealth so many times. Tell players I don't always number monsters in order, so that you can never be sure how many there are. Then I usually number them number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. in order 75% of the time. Then once in a while they meet giant spider number 2 and then giant spider number 4. Then giant spider number 9, which is the third and final one. You are a scumbag and I love you for it. I once put in magic boots that made the wearer forget how to take off shoes. The concept of how to remove shoes was just gone from his head. The boots were made from solid platinum. Well, my sarcasm meters kicked in. I'd look at the DM and go, "Well, boots aren't shoes, are they?" I once did an Among Us session, but no one knew that beforehand. I had no ideas for the session, so I thought it would be funny just to improv it all the way. They went to a castle where there had been a murder, but complications in the anti-magic defenses made it impossible to just cast Zone of Truth to question the suspects. I described a great hall, an armory, a place for administrators, a temple for the storm gods, electric, and another couple of things I don't recall correctly. The murder had happened in the temple, and the girl wearing red clothes was the culprit. Midway, 2 out of 4 of the players separately noticed the similarities and laughed without saying another word about it. To this day, it was the best improv I've ever done. Improv is a heck of a thing. I recommend a lot more people giving it a chance. Haven't gotten to do this yet, but giving them a bag of holding that's already filled to the brim with 499.99 pounds of one specific junk item. Then narrating 499.99 pounds of, say, empty turtle shells exploding out of the rupturing bag. Can everyone roll a perception for me? And just say there's nothing, regardless of the rolls. Because truly, there isn't anything. That's kind of a good thing, but also it can lead to a lot of players getting really pissed off really fast. So be careful. I characterize NPCs in ways that I know will make my players suspicious of the ones who are purely helpful and relatively trusting of the ones who are all too ready to stab them in the collective back. My favorite example of this is when I had them encounter a literal faith healer in a revival tent and he offered to heal them for free. 2 of the PCs had been petrified in an unfortunate encounter with a Gorgon, and he used costly diamonds to cast Greater Restoration on each of them, free of charge. Instant suspicion. The genteel Southern Baptist accent was the cherry on top. They haven't encountered him again yet, but anytime he's mentioned, there's an immediate chorus of, I hate that guy. I also make liberal use of the phrase, as far as you know. Scummy, but I love it. I ran an NPC by the name of Orville Chubb, whose name I stole from a local politician, but this was an online game. Players instantly disliked him from the name. I used a picture for him that was fairly unlikable, and he was a retired adventurer running a bar who basically told the PCs that they were walking into a trap, that the information they had was obviously bullshit, and that the smart thing to do was to leave it the fuck alone because it was way above their competence. All of which was straight up true, but it was delivered in a condescending fashion that just had the party going, well yeah, fuck you, we're going on this adventure out of spite. Later, they were like, you know who has actually been honest with us this whole time? That motherfucker we all hate. Every now and then, my players will find fish somewhere you wouldn't expect to find fish. This is my red herring. Ooh, that got me a little bit. Ask them literally any question. Pause for 48 seconds after they answer, and then just say, I see. Oh, I would hate you so much for that. As a DM, you have the power to turn almost any object into a mimic on the spot. Do with that information what you will. This paper is a mimic. That pencil you're writing with? A mimic. The toilet you're sitting on? God bless America. That's a mimic. I guess you don't need a bidet at that point. Swap monster names and stat blocks. Get fucked, Googlers. I like to use powerful monsters that act vaguely threatening as neutral NPCs and quest givers. The party knows they should probably kill that beholder, but they're level 2 and the pay is good. Plus the job is to kill a chromatic dragon. That can't be that bad, right? Also, I liberally grant my monsters the ability to polymorph into a human form. Nothing like assassinating that uppity tax collector or something, only to have them suddenly turn into a black dragon or a unicorn. Whichever I think would make them go, oh shit, the most. Celestials, dragons, and devils are my main go-to for this. It's an oldie, but a goodie. I don't announce when they're rolling for a random encounter. I just ask someone to roll. If they don't get one, I respond to the roll with an oh boy, interesting. Then immediately move on like nothing happened. On Roll20, players can briefly glimpse tokens moved from one section of a hidden map to another if there is a revealed corridor or room along the path. I regularly take a random terrifying token and have it fly across the screen. You know, for the first 2 times that would probably make me shit my pants, and then the 3rd time I'd go, now you're just messing with us. Or are you? One time, I just put a door in the middle of a forest. Oh, it didn't lead anywhere. It was just a frame, with a panel, and a knob. It was nicely fashioned, at least. I love having kobolds lay out fake traps. Super easy to find, the party always gets super cocky, and then BAM! Molotov cocktail, or something equivalent. No party has ever gotten more suspicious once they found one. Announce an attack, then drop a load of dice onto the table. I did that once for a young dragon's breath weapon, but I dropped its damage, as well as like 40 other dice onto the table, so they just heard a massive amount of dice rolling through my mic. That's awfully evil and funny. Okay, so you touched the door handle? Yes? Okay, so as soon as you reach for the door handle, your hand closes around it, and then you hear a click. Oh no! As the latch gives and the door opens. They were entering a dungeon and the artificer had just checked for traps and rolled moderately. My players collectively agreed that it was a dick move. The occasionally messy or dirty wooden container. Maybe they are raiding a kitchen and there is a sticky wooden barrel they assume to be a mimic as an example. Calling for wisdom saving throws anytime they want to touch a seemingly threatening magic item. If they roll low, they hear some whispers behind them as they reach for the item. Well, that's it. There are no consequences to touching the item. I just got my players with the old NPC you had to rescue turned out to be the bad guy trope. Most amusingly, he was initially made at level 16 and was helping them with a hard fight. While taking a break, one of my players told me I needed to level him up to 20. Oh, I happily obliged. Just laughing manically for no reason. Or for good reasons you don't know. Ask them literally anything about their character without saying why. Usually I'm just checking if the item I'm gonna give them is something useful, or making sure the encounter I have planned is properly tailored to match the player's abilities. They always expect that I'm plotting to kill them. Though, when I introduce a buff to the barbarian with roll a con save, I see their point. Balhanath. I sick a Balhanath on them. Is it a particularly dangerous enemy? Is it the most single mean-spirited enemy in the game? Oh, absolutely. I've got this sorcerer NPC that follows the party at a good distance and periodically casts minor illusion. Counterspell. They never expect it. Rolls the die and, oh, okay, well, shift. And then just proceed to act like nothing happened. What the fuck was that? Oh, don't worry about it. My players, so we can't open the chest with Mage Hand because we're in an anti-magic field. What will we do if it's trapped? Let's just have everyone step back while our tankiest PC opens it. Okay, so you're opening the chest with your bare hands? Yes. Are you sure? Well, now I'm not, but yeah, I'm gonna open it. It's unlocked and untrapped. No problems whatsoever. I have a 17-year-old son who is a master at painting minis. Oh, that's cute. I love when my group shows up for their level 1 to 5 campaign and there is an ancient red dragon or a pair of storm giants on the table. Went from cute and awesome to, you're a real son of a bitch. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here, back at it again, bringing you some love at the end of the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you can get notified when we post or go live, which we very rarely do, but we might eventually again, you never know. And of course, if you would like to tell us in the comments down below what your favorite way to troll your players are, we'd really appreciate it. Not only because we can troll the blood gods of the algorithm lords at YouTube, because, you know, Google took over and they're all scum, but we also just really want to hear from you. Yes, you, the players and DMs out there in the world who know ways to troll one another, because we kind of really want to have a laugh and it just might make it into a video, you never know. That said, if you want to come say hi to me, Brian Von VA, you can come do so on Twitch, which I, well, would love to see everybody over there. I'm trying to reach 1,000 followers before the end of the year, and we're getting closer, ladies and gentlemen.